Hi there, I'm Pep, and this is a Pep Talk. I thought a good first topic would be starting over. Kind of fitting, because in a lot of ways I kind of am starting over myself, starting a new channel, kind of doing my own thing. But in board games, just as in life, starting over doesn't necessarily mean putting the game away, bringing it back out, and starting from scratch. Because you usually don't have that opportunity. If something goes wrong for you in a board game, just like in life, you don't get to go back to being a baby and grow all the way back up. You kind of have to start from where you are and rebuild. And so I'm going to shift the focus here to games. A lot of times I see people in the middle of playing a game, something will go wrong, and admittedly, sometimes it's pretty drastic. You can tell that things are going really bad for that player, and they almost definitely are not going to win the game. But it's not always about winning in the end, so finding a way to rebuild your position from wherever you've left off is important. You don't really want to take a negative approach and just say, well, I've absolutely lost, this is over. I mean, if the game's in the final round or something, sure, you're right, you've definitely lost. If there's only two of you playing, maybe just give up at that point. Unless the other person seems to be having a lot of fun doing whatever combos they're doing, maybe let them finish them. But let's say it's a game that lasts for 7 or 8 rounds and you're only on round 3 and things really start going bad for you. Well, that's where I think it's really important to know how to build yourself back up, how to start over. Because it is very possible during a game to completely take a new strategy partway through. I find myself doing it all the time. You have to approach a game like you always have a chance of winning. Because a lot of times you do. It might look like your opponent has this great grand strategy that no matter what can't be stopped, but that's not necessarily true. And maybe they'll stumble somewhere, and the little bit of extra momentum that you gained up to that point will take you over the top. And again, that's only if you care about winning. Maybe you just care about having fun. In both cases, I think it's really good to just kind of look around at the board, maybe give yourself a minute, even if it's your turn, kind of just say to the other players, sorry, my strategies have really fallen apart. I just kind of need to, take a look at what's going on. And they should be pretty understanding, as long as you don't do it every round. But yeah, take a look at the board and, what the other players are doing. Because a lot of times I find that's what thwarts one of your plans, is you think, oh, this strategy is going to be great for me, I shouldn't have any problem, and then maybe one of your opponents either does the same strategy or does a different strategy that's just taking a lot of the same resources or cards or whatever it is that you need. And so yeah, it might be time to just do a 180, turn around and go down a different path. And so you probably want to focus on a path that your opponents either aren't doing, or maybe you notice an opponent who's not really following one solid strategy, and so you can kind of pick up through the scraps of what they're leaving behind. But generally, I would suggest just taking a different strategy than everyone else is, because A, they probably won't know exactly what's going on, because if you just copy someone else's strategy, they'll know kind of how many points that will be gaining, and so they can keep a good eye on you, might even start influencing other players, telling them your strategy and how you might be gaining points. So going in a completely different way from all the other players is probably the best way, because for one, it should be more fun. If there's someone at the table doing something a little wacky or something that no one else is expecting, that's usually fun. It's fun to see someone pull off an interesting combo or do that strategy that everyone assumed was useless. So yeah, if you're looking to have fun, that's probably a good way, is just take it off the other side. I almost did this in one solid take. That would have been cool. Let me know how you feel about the idea of pep talks, what kind of things you really want to hear. Generally, my main idea of the series is to focus on particular genres of games. Like in the description here, you'll find an example of one I did for Deckbuilders a long time ago. But that was my general idea. But for this one, I thought I'd take something a little more broad and just kind of talk about it. Like I said, I find a lot of people just give up. They get halfway through the game and they give up. Maybe they just start doing random things or pushing another player to win or something like that. But I don't think that's I don't think that's fun for you. I don't think that's fun for the other players. I think it's better to just kind of turn your brain off for a second, look at everything, decide on a new strategy, and then go for that. And that should probably be a lot more fun, and you probably have a better chance of winning that way than just kind of giving up and doing whatever. Anyway, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll take a look, see what everyone's thinking. And that's my pep talk. See y'all later.